Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we will be talking about my most recent tournament win, guys. I won my very first kayak fishing tournament. I'm very thankful for that. Very exciting, very great. Guys, a lot of work went into it. A lot of preparation, and a lot of game day decisions. And that actually is one of the key things. One of the big things I want to talk about to you guys in this video is decisions. I feel like that has been something that you constantly have to work on when it comes to tournaments, because literally one decision can cost you a whole entire tournament. You can have a great start of the morning, everything's good, and then you make a bad decision midday, someone else makes a good decision, you go home with the shoulda coulda, and they go home with the money, the prizes and the trophies. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the tournament. This was a 2-day tournament. This may have been my first 2-day tournament in the kayak, which is, okay, that's fine. I fished back-to-back tournaments. I fished 3-day tournaments before. It's no big deal. It's preparation that goes into it. Thankfully, I was on a bite that was pretty consistent, so I didn't have to come home and retie and change up everything, or want to throw all my poles in the trash and restart. My bite was pretty consistent, pretty solid, and I was able to use a lot of the same things the very next day, even though the conditions were different. So this tournament was for the Nvkba. This was a benefit tournament for the Heroes on the Water, a great organization out here in Fredericksburg, Virginia, that works with our veterans. So very thankful to be a part of this tournament, benefit tournament, as well as a first club event, kind of a season icebreaker, if you will, type of tournament. Kind of, get the rust off, make sure your poles still work, make sure your kayak still pedals, all that good stuff. So it was a great way to kind of kick off the season. Our next up tournament, the official first stop of the trail, is this Saturday on Lake Anna. Well, it's coming up Saturday on Lake Anna. That's our first stop. That one counts towards AOI and all that good stuff. So gotta have a good finish throughout the season to try to even be in contention for AOI. They are going to some bodies of water I've never been to before, so I do have some work to do to familiarize myself with those bodies of water. I don't even know where to launch on 2 of them. So I have to figure out where to launch from, and then what I'm supposed to throw and all that. So it's a little bit of work that's going to go into it, but I've already started as soon as I got the schedule. I think January, December, or whatever. Immediately started researching, trying to figure out these things out so I can be prepared. But for today's video, I want to talk about the tournament. Like I said, it was a 2-day tournament. Saturday and Sunday is a statewide tournament, so you basically could fish anywhere that you wanted to in the state of Virginia, public access where people can get into. So pretty much you had your choice of places you could go to, which is pretty cool. I was able to find a place that I could go to that I felt like I could get a limit. Wasn't sure if I could get big fish out of it just yet. I know possibly I can later, but I don't know about right now in March. It's still very cold. The day one when I started, the water temps were like 43 degrees, and that's not great fishing weather, right? By the end of that day, it was probably like 53, which is better, but 43 to start. So day one, very tough. I was on the water at like 5:30, 5:45-ish. Started fishing at 6. It was still dark, couldn't see anything. I had my lights and stuff on, of course, but couldn't see anything. Thankfully, I had my graphs and just my memory, right, to know where I'm going. So I'm basically trying to find throwing. I mean, guys, I'm throwing everything I got at him. So for 3 hours, basically, 6 o'clock till almost 9 o'clock. It's 8:59. I finally caught my first keeper. First keeper came on a bait I hadn't had much success in practice all year. I haven't had much success on this bait in my town at all. Anywhere in Virginia that I've gone, I haven't had much success on this bait. For some reason, it hasn't been the deal. But I have been having success on a spinner bait. It wasn't working either. So I was like, okay, so let me switch. I made an adjustment, pulled up into a little like a flat type area, and started throwing around a chatterbait. That got me my first fish. So a little chatterbait. It's a random chatterbait. I don't even know who makes it. But I started throwing around that, and that was what got me my first keeper, got me on the board. By that point, there was only one other person that had like 1 keeper. So I could tell it was pretty tough. There's 30 plus anglers in here. It was pretty tough. Got my first keeper on a chatterbait. Then after that, it was probably about every hour after that I would get a bite. Chatterbait was holding it down for that first one. Never got another bite on that color chatterbait at all for the rest of the week, for the rest of the 2 days. From that point on, it switched over to the spinner bait. So I'll talk to you guys a little bit about the spinner bait. This was the bait that caught 3 of my keepers, I want to say. And actually, before I get to the spinner bait bite actually didn't turn on until a little bit later. So let me come back to the spinner bait. The first fish I actually caught after the chatterbait fish, and I probably caught about 6 or 7 keepers on this fish, was a jerk bait, actually. And I had to go a little bit dirtier stained water type of color, although this, you can see pretty good through this color was the one that actually worked for me. Now you guys know I'm normally throwing a Rapala PXR. I didn't have a darker color PXR. I only have 2 of them. I haven't got the whole lineup yet. I only got 2 of them, so I had to find something that had a darker color, so I ended up throwing this one around. The rod and reel combo, guys, I kid you not, this X Matrix series by Douglas Rods, guys, it is the best rod I've ever thrown in my life for a chatterbait. Douglas Rods X Matrix, guys, this is a 684F. This thing, I'm telling you, when they hit it, it loads up so nice, and it gives them the ability to run. I can fight them, I can give them everything they need, and I still can get them in. So, guys, I normally don't show all my stuff on, but you guys know that I really don't show a lot of my stuff. But in this case, I felt like it's good because this jerkbait actually, this style of jerkbait is a must. So, the first quality fish I caught on the tournament came on as jerkbait. So that kind of got me number 2, and I'm like, okay, feeling good now. Got 2. I had moved up into like 2nd place or so. I feel pretty good. Another hour goes by, I get a 3rd fish. The 3rd fish came on a crankbait, and you guys know what crankbait I throw, a Jabber Jaw by 13 Fishing. Now I had it with me, but I don't have it with me right now for some reason. I have to find it, but it's a similar style pattern, like a shad pattern type of deal. I ended up throwing that around, and that crankbait ended up getting me my 3rd one, and that actually was my biggest fish of the tournament. Came on that crankbait. That's it for any other type of baits. That's it. Actually, one more bait. One more bait came late in the day on day 1. It got me a nice upgrade at the end of day 1. But from that point on, all that stuff went away. Only thing I threw from that point on for the next 6, 7, 8 hours was a spinnerbait. I tried some of the other stuff as well. I caught a few more fish on the jerkbait. I actually filled out my limit with the jerkbait. That gave me fish number 5. But the 2 in between there, spinnerbait. Guys, and this is the spinnerbait I throw right here. I'm gonna show you guys a little bit. I threw it around on this Douglas Rods. This is an Era series, and I gotta give credit where credit's due. Okay, so I won my very first bass fishing tournament throwing a spinnerbait. I'll be honest, at that time, and I said it in the video, I didn't really know that much about throwing a spinnerbait. I just knew it looked really good for the water, the conditions, the clarity. I knew it had big blades. It's a 1/2 ounce spinnerbait. That water I was fishing then was really dirty. I was using the Chartreuse Colorado and a Gold Willow. And that spinnerbait absolutely smoked them that day. You guys can still see up there my trophy from my tournament that I won on Curry Lake down in North Carolina. That's the very first time that I've really had success throwing a spinnerbait. And since that day, that spinnerbait bite has been always, spinnerbait bite's always good, but it hasn't produced the numbers as it has here as of late. So as of late, I've been throwing the spinnerbait starting maybe around late February, March. I've been throwing spinnerbait. And guys, I literally have caught maybe 200 plus fish in 4 weeks throwing a spinnerbait. Absolutely, they smoked the spinnerbait. The exact one I showed you, that's actually my 3rd one of it. I had to go through a couple because he broke, one of the fish I caught broke the end of it. I thought he broke the whole thing, but he didn't. He actually just broke the blade off, so I was able to put the blade back on, but I didn't know that at the time. So I've gone through, and one fish I caught, after I caught it, he annihilated the whole thing. It was ridiculous. But that spinnerbait, from that point on, every fish I caught came on a spinnerbait. So I got the next 2, filled out the limit with the tiny guy on the jerkbait, replaced him subsequently with a spinnerbait fish, a much better quality spinnerbait fish. And towards the end of the day, they weren't hitting the white and chartreuse no more. They weren't hitting the jerkbait no more. They weren't hitting much anything. I end up switching to everybody's go-to color for this time of year, apparently, is the orange. I switched to the orange fire crawl. This is a jackhammer. Switched to the orange jackhammer. Made my first pitch out with it in the same flat that I caught the other fish on the chatterbait, and it ended up smoking this one. First cast with it. Never got another bite on it all weekend, but I got one more. That was a call that helped move me up. That put me to my 88 inches, and with 10 minutes to go, I caught one fish on a shaky hit, but it was 16 1/4, so it didn't actually help me. So that was my limit, 88 inches. I was very good. I was sitting in first place. I was leading the tournament by like 19 or 20 inches, I think, at that point. That's because other people hadn't had limits yet. Guys in this club, guys' NVA club is full of sticks. These guys can catch them. They can catch them, and they will catch them, and they're really, really good. So I knew that I didn't think that was going to get it done. I was like, I got to get to 100. My goal was 100. Like, I needed 100 inches to try to make sure I beat these guys for sure. But I didn't think I could get there. I wasn't sure if I could get there. So that's day 1. Day 1 ends. Okay, so now we flip over. I'm feeling good. I don't have to make a lot of adjustments when I get home. I pretty much keep all the same baits. I retie the ends, any line I think is frayed, but I can pretty much keep it simple. That's what I got. That's what it is. I got the baits on. I have something. I went with my same philosophy that I always use when I tournament fish, and that's having a different color on every bait. That way I can cycle through my baits quickly. Because if you get bumped on a certain color, that can kind of key you in to be like, okay. So when I start my day, I had something that's shad pattern, blue shad pattern, that has something that's white and chartreuse, something that's orange, something that's green pumpkin, red even, you know, things like that. I have all the color spectrum in there. I had a minnow tied on, things like that. So all things in the color spectrum, and that way I can kind of cycle through the baits quickly and get through my day. So day 2, you guys are familiar with me a little bit if you watch my channel. I am a musician in church. That's what I do. I love to go to church. I give God glory and honor for all the wonderful things that He's done for me in my life. So I'm very thankful for that. But I am blessed to have the opportunity to play music in church. And it's a 2-day tournament, Saturday and Sunday. So the Sunday part's on church day. I'm in church. I got to play my music on Sunday. I will schedule a vacation and miss a day here and there, but I'm in church on Sunday. If I can be in church on Sunday, I'm in church. So I was in church. I'm playing music, and I knew that gave everyone else in the club a chance to go. If they weren't at church, you know, some of them might have been in church. Who knows? But that gave everyone in the club a chance to start at 6 a.m. And I knew I wasn't going to get on the water till like 1:30 or 2. Gave everybody from 6 to 2 to beat the brakes off of me, right? So I'm like, okay, this is gonna be tough. I was like, if they get way ahead, I know what I gotta do. If I'm somehow still ahead or close, I know what I gotta do. Really didn't change what I had to do, but I didn't also get that opportunity to fish in the morning time. It is what it is. I knew that when I signed up, right? That's what it is, so that's fine. But I knew when I got done, I was gonna get out there and try to see what I could figure out. So I got done with church, had 2 great services, got done, came home, grabbed my kayak, hit it straight to the water. I said, okay, try to maximize my fishing time. Got there. Day 1 was really windy, cold water, really, really windy. I'm talking like 19 mile an hour sustained, 30 plus mile an hour gust. It was so bad. But shouts out to the Old Town. I can't believe I went through this whole video and haven't said the word Old Town yet. Shouts out to the Old Town, guys. I run an Old Town PDL 106. I don't have a motor. I have my pedals and I have my arms and my paddle. Fighting that wind was a monster. Trying to stay put, trying to pitch a jerk bait around. That's why I was glad when I switched to the spinner bait, because I could just go down the bank and just burn it up if I could. But day 1 was super windy. So day 2, I get out there, the wind's not nearly as bad. The wind obviously kicks that spinner bait bite into overdrive. Day 2, no wind. It wasn't bad. It was a little chop, but not quite spinnerbait weather. I knew the wind was going to pick up, so I was hoping my bite was going to get a little better. So I get out there 1:30, 2 o'clock, guys. I got no fish. 2:30, no fish. 3 o'clock, no fish. I'm throwing my chatterbait, my shaky head, my jerkbait, my spinnerbait. No bites. Nothing. And then I finally throwing this spinnerbait. No, sorry, shaky head. I went back to the shaky head. I found submerged timber, pitched my shaky head in there, feel a tug, go to lift up on it, nothing there. I'm like, dang it, I missed him, because I set the hook. I felt the tug. I went to set the hook, and it was nothing there. He pulled off. I was like, okay. I took a few seconds, went around, pitched back over there again. Got him. I said, oh, here we go. Got him coming. Fought. He got me hung up in the timber. I'm sitting there, I'm pulling on. I'm like, why is it not coming back? He got me hung up in the timber. I'm like, oh, okay. So I got him out of the timber, pulled him up, got him to the boat, 17 and a quarter. 17 and a quarter is my smallest fish anyway. Didn't help me at all, but it was like at least a sign. I'm like, okay. Shaky head got me there, but didn't get there. Now, I want to go back, guys, real quick. On day number 1, I didn't lose any fish on day 1. I cannot say that for a lot of my tournaments. Lost fish has cost me probably thousands of dollars at this point, losing fish. I did not lose a single fish on day 1. One fish went to get the spinnerbait, but I think he just mistimed his jump. Like, I don't think he's like Gabrielle Union, like Gabby Douglas. Gabrielle Union, I don't know if she can jump at all. Gabby Douglas, like, she's, times her jumps perfectly to land right on the end and do the little thing. This fish clearly equilibrium was off or something. I don't know. He missed the spinnerbait. I saw him shoot out the water to get it. Thought I had him. Set the hook. Spinnerbait comes flying back at me. He goes back in the water. I fished around for that fish about 10 more minutes. Caught him again on a chatterbait. Got off again. This fish was destined to not come in the boat. And I was like, oh, that's going to crush me. But I ended up catching one bigger than him later, as the coal I told you about with the chatterbait fish I caught later. And I caught a really nice spinnerbait fish too, and the chatterbait fish. So I replaced him. So that's the only fish, but I didn't lose that fish. He just didn't get any of the baits I threw at him. He hit the chatterbait but did not get it. So, like, all right, now we're back on day 2. Caught my first fish on the shaky head. started feeling a little promising, felt good, but that didn't help me. And people were inching up, particular Carrie, this guy named Jacob. These guys were inching up on me, and I'm looking up, and next thing I know, they got 86 inches. I'm still sitting at 88. Like, oh no, I'm about to lose this on the last 2 hours, because the tournament ended at 6 p.m. It was probably like 3:30 or 4 o'clock at this time. I'm like, oh, it's not looking good. They were inching up, and then Will Brewer started inching up as well. I look up, he's got 83. It's about 4:30. I've only got that one fish that didn't help me. I proceed to catch a fish on the jerk bait, doesn't help me. I proceed to catch another fish on the jerk bait, doesn't help me. I see probably 5 or 6 fish following my spinner bait, but as I'm reeling it, I have to stop it to turn so I can make sure I can still see what I need to see, and they end up going away. I'm working on that, but it is what it is. So I end up getting them. I end up fishing some really, really good looking brush piles and other wooden structures that I see. Got fish follow my bait, but they don't get it. And I'm like, man, this is not happening. It's not happening. It can't go down like this. So I end up pedaling. I mean, guys, I almost burned my legs all the way off. I'm pretty sure I lost like 8 pounds. Trying to get to another area. I end up going back to an area where I had caught some fish on a spinnerbait. And I was like, let's go back down the bank to throw the spinnerbait again. Couple more followers, nothing. I get to a tree. I have not caught a fish off this tree since I've been fishing this place. It's like 6 years. It looks great, never has a fish in it. I caught one really good fish off the tree beside it, but never anything out of this one spot. It's probably like 5:15 at this point, 45 minutes left, 3 anglers within 3 inches of me, one good catch by either one of them, and I'm toast. After leading the whole tournament for 2 days, I'm toast in the last few minutes. So end up casting that spinnerbait out to this tree. Bloop, 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 bloop. Whoosh. Guys, my goodness, everything, my whole body was shaking. I'm just like, there's no way. And now I'm just nervous because now I just want to get him in. So I'm fighting him. And of course, of all the fish I caught all week, this crazy Looney Tune fish jumps straight up. He's on a spinnerbait, jumps straight up, comes back down. I still feel him. I'm like, okay, survived the first one. He shoots back up again. Oh my goodness, survived the second one. I get him coming towards the net. He shoots up again. Third one. I said, you've got to be kidding me. Just get in the net, buddy. Just get in the net. Fourth one, he jumps again. Guys, he's still not done. He jumps again. Finally, at that point, he jumped. He was done. I slid him on over the net, put him in there, got him in the kayak, and measure him, and he's 17 and a half, or 17 3/4. I can't remember. 17 and a half, I think. Gives me a 1/4 inch upgrade. Now, you guys know how kayak tournaments. There's been plenty of kayak tournaments won with a 1/4 inch or not. But this exact spinnerbait right here, I tried to run a different one, gold, 2 Colorados. That didn't work. I always run a trailer on my spinnerbait. Always, you guys know that. But no trailer hook. No trailer hook. Just this one I got. But guys, I always do that. And this fish ended up getting him in the kayak, measured him. He was a 1/4 inch upgrade. I was like, so if somebody was shooting, and I got it in right before they cut the leaderboard off. So if somebody was shooting for my 88, they know I had 88 and a 1/4. Obviously, I don't think they're shooting for a target. I think you're just trying to catch the biggest fish you can. But I got a little upgrade in there. They cut the leaderboard off, and I fished again. I threw the same spinnerbait again around a stump. I've never caught anything off this stump before. Ended up getting another one. He hit it, but didn't get it. And I tried to catch that fish again. I threw the shaky hit in there. I tried a couple things, didn't get that fish. I don't think he would have helped me. I think it might have been a 16. It didn't look massive. I saw it hit the bait as it was that shallow. But and then that's it. Basically, I paddled in. I took my time paddling in because I'm like, I don't know how it's going to shake out. They turn the leaderboard off. You have no idea if you won or how you did. We had a meeting. The meeting wasn't scheduled for an hour and a half later, so you're really just kind of in limbo, just sitting there. But as I'm wrapping up, I just want to thank Douglas Rods, guys. I did not lose any fish. With the X Matrix and the Air Series, I did not lose any fish. It was phenomenal. The rods held up, did just fine. The Old Town kayak and that wind, whatever, it didn't matter. Old Town, it eats those waves like nothing. I love my Old Town kayak, guys. It's one of the best investments I've made in my fishing journey since I've been fishing, honestly. I love that Old Town kayak. Now, I plan on getting another one here soon, hopefully, but got to win a few more times if I do that. But, or at least cash a few more times, right? But end up getting to the meeting. Great Nvkba, Mike, those guys, man, a phenomenal organization. He announces the top 10. He announced 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, and he did not say my name in any of those places. So at that point, it hit me. We got the win, guys. We got the win. So 88.25 inches was good enough to get it done. Virginia statewide benefit tournament, Heroes on the Water, Nvkba season icebreaker event. Old Town rods, Old Town kayaks, Douglas rods. Got in work this weekend and had a great time. So 2 12-hour days of fishing, a 12-hour day for me, and then a 5-hour day for me, and then a 12-hour day for me. But either way, great time out on the water. So thankful as always. I have an amazing family. I do fish a lot, and it takes a lot for me to get out there and practice and feel comfortable and be prepared for what I'm doing. So amazing family. Kids was cheering me on. Wife cheering me on. Just wishing I would do well. Because it's good. It's good. You hate to always give out. You want something to come back in when you're kayak fishing. So it's great to give to a great cause and win the tournament. All phenomenal things. So I'm very thankful. Next tournament comes up Saturday, Lake Anna. Let's get after it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is only my second time doing like a winning video. Well, actually, no, like my 4th time, which is great. 5th time, I can't remember. I like winning. I like doing well in tournaments, and I like to talk to you guys about it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it as always. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Hopefully this makes up for my rant video, because I did go off a little bit in the last video. Hopefully you guys caught that and heeded my advice. But thank you guys for watching this video as always. I appreciate you guys. Yours truly, Fast and Furious. Thanks for watching. Guys, my name is Ty. If you see me in the streets, just say what's up, Ty. Remember, shouts out to all the companies that rock with me, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace. I'm out.